A little disc brake swap update, a little one-man garage. I took back the aluminum master cylinder because it did not have the recess to contain this rod that won't pull out. It's part of the master. This old master, see, I marked this. This has a depth of this that I need. So I got this Corvette style slash late 60s GM style that you'll see these, on like OEM car disc brakes too. It's a Dorman 89 160 from Amazon, paid 30 something dollars. And here we go. Look at that, the line. It's exactly the depth to fit the booster. And it's the cool looking style. So how about that? Today on One Man Garage, we're gonna flip the frame over and try not to wreck up that nice slopped on brush painted Rust-Oleum coat. We'll see if that works. Hopefully no cats will be killed. Little sketch. Guy will pull this forward here. My Harbor Freight A-frames are not that sturdy. Don't let their beef, misguide you. If you see paint runs, well, that's what they are. Have you seen the welding on these frames? Why does the paint job got to be perfect? That's all I'm saying. That's sort of all the way done. I guess we'll whoopsie, it was windy. Try that. We're still rolling. Looks like there'll be some paint touch up. It's bound to happen. I think I'm just going to let it on the ground. Yeah, that'll work. Good enough for the cars we have. Well, no cats or humans were harmed. You know, my meniscus is already torn and I didn't make it worse, so how about that? Wish I would have had the camera on the other side. I was heating up to get the old brake hose off and had my back turned and it exploded and blew the rubber end off like that right there. Yeah, I had a real booger of a time getting the old master cylinder loose from the lines were really rusty. Oh wow, look, I caught it on camera. Sweet. But yeah, I got the master cylinder off finally without it stripping out or breaking the brake lines. So we don't want to break the brake lines. Well, good deal. This part here is where we're going to have to splice into the car and clip it at the same spot. Get some compression fittings to reconnect to what seems to be a factory compression fitting on the Bonneville, because that was a factory disc car. So I guess they just spliced into it. Weird. But yeah, it's all cleared up. Bolted the master up. We'll bleed it later when we stick the hoses in it and just use a brake pedal to pump it into the reservoir as a bench bleed. So yeah, making a little progress on the brake lines. I got the junction unbolted yesterday and the clips where the passenger line goes underneath the engine. And to be fair, I'm just gonna use the old cutters and chop it off so I can just get it out of the way. Kind of a pain in the butt, you know, because we're gonna have to splice in on the line that goes to the rear of the car anyway. So I'm on vacation the rest of the year. Gonna be out of town here and there too, so we'll get progress, but I'm not sure how much I get done today. Very carefully remove this. Ah, yeah, there you go. Something like that. Yeah, that's the way they meant. Well, good thing I got it out in one piece so we can put it back. No, we're not putting it back. Do you notice anything I might have done wrong when I put my shims on the other day? Yeah, I guess might not have really. Well, we'll just pretend we didn't see that. The previous aluminum master cylinder I showed in another video, you know, I just bought a 70 Bonneville, which was like this, which is more like a 70s style master cylinder with big in the front, little in the back, and it doesn't have the deep drilled hole you see. So that's just what I had with the brakes. So I didn't know about the booster rod thing at the time, so that's why we swapped out to that cooler early style disc brake master. So got me curious about the other cars. Oh, and there's Marbell. So there you go. We're we're just running it to charge the battery on the old Star Chief Executive. Original oil pump, only rated for 40 psi. I'm probably going to go ahead and try to heat this and take the big line off. The big line's the one that's going to be fun to run. The rest of this will just drop down in place. Maybe this bracket bolt hole will be the same hole we already have in the frame. So I don't know, I'll have to go get the torch stuff. Today's not sponsored products we're featuring is BB Blaster and Twisted Tea and Coleman Fuel. So we'll position this into burn mode. You really want to heat the block a little bit more, because that's what needs to expand and release the threads of what's going in it. So I'm gonna place it about right there, and then you know, supervise. So where are y'all going to have Christmas at? We may be going down to Louisiana to get some seafood ourselves. Don't have to eat holiday food on holidays. Eat what's local and what's good. Nothing's probably going to explode on this video, I'm hoping. Repositioned, because I had to really cook one of those steel lines going into the flare also to get it to rotate the other day coming off the master. It was tough, real tough, but I got it. You need to later. Resetting. Oh yeah, come right off. How about that? That's what I'm talking about. I wish I was smart enough to know about using the heat when I was young. U-joints, all kinds of stuff. So stupid. Completely ignorant. Ignorant shouldn't be looked at as an insult word. It's just meaning you didn't know. It doesn't mean stupid. It just means you just didn't know. Ignorant. Well, ain't ignorant no more. How about it? I'll shoot a little juice in there, cool that off. Making messes, that's what I'm good at. Well, sorta, some progress. Got the hold off valve and distribution block, because those are separate valves on the 70 model and back brakes. Of course, I'm not going to screw these in until I get the bleeder stuff and bleed the master before I connect those. I still got to finish. I was trying to wrestle that other line in. That's kind of a booger. This has been a little bit hard. I'm going to tweak the lines around, because keeping the 66 low profile straighter mount booster instead of doing the angled bigger upper mount booster is one of the differences. But also you got to see the lever throttle linkage is different, so I don't know that you would go to the bigger booster on this car anyway, because you might hit your throttle linkage. So you know, so there's some fabricating involved. It ain't just a bolt on as far as brake lines and boosterage. So it's still hot rodding, gotta make it work. I actually got that line poked around and got it screwed in. It's sort of in place. We'll have to coax it down and anchor it after a while. I'm gonna try to still get the other end coordinated. Well, I actually got it wrestled around. I had to get it kind of behind and under the cooler lines right there, and got it kind of tweaked in place. The brackets aren't really going to line up correctly, so we'll have to loosely fish the brackets through the hoses, and then maybe after it settles in, we'll figure out how we want to screw the brackets down. Might have to drill holes. We'll see. Well, I got the new hose finger tight and without the bracket because it's not going to fit anyway. I kind of want to leave this swivelly until we're closer, and probably over here just use an aftermarket universal cushion clamp that I can just put around there, and probably use the original hole and just grab the brake line there. So as long as you're tightening this with 2 wrenches, you don't really have to anchor it there, and just something here to keep it from flexing too much. Should be fine. Same thing on this side, got it finger tight, still swivelly. I know we're going to want to pull this down and anchor it to give more, clearance. Something like that. I don't have the clamps right now, and it's raining. Fixing to go out of town, so we're not going to finish today. There's always more later.